I pulled up to my house and knew right then that something was wrong. Not the normal quiet of the neighborhood, but the kind of silence where even the birds decide today isn't worth singing, the kind that makes you feel like someone's holding their breath for you. My porch light was on in the middle of the day, I never do that, and the front door was wide open, not unlocked, wide open like someone had ripped the cover off a book. I sat in the truck, a second hand still on the wheel, heart doing that weird skip you only notice when everything else goes still. Then I stepped out and closed the door as gently as I could. I'd been gone 3 days chasing a bail jumper across 2 counties, vending machine coffee, 30-minute naps in parking lots. I wanted one silent shower, that's all. Instead, my house looked like someone had peeled it back like a carcass opened up. I moved forward, forcing breath into my chest. Instincts screaming, but I told them to shut up. I was unarmed department policy for personal travel, which meant for the first time in years I was walking toward danger without backup. The closer I got, the clearer the noise, voices, laughing, chairs scraping. I stopped at the doorway and just stared. The living room wasn't searched, it was ruined. Sofa cushions slid open, TV unplugged, and face-down drawers emptied into piles like trash. And right in the middle of it all, like she was hosting an open house, stood Linda Carver, HOA president. Perfect hair, perfect makeup, perfect smile, like nothing here was a crime scene. Behind her were 4 guys in navy shirts with bright yellow patches, community patrol types, plastic badges, zip ties dangling from belts. One of them was holding our wedding photo upside down like a prop. Linda clapped when she saw me, all sunshine. "Oh, good, you're back. We needed you to sign the violation acknowledgement." I didn't answer. My brain hadn't caught up. "What happened here?" I asked, quiet. She gestured proudly around. "We conducted a compliance inspection." One of the patrol guys chimed in. "You had locked storage areas, suspicious behavior." I looked past them at my office. The metal evidence safe bolted to the floor had been pried open. My stomach dropped. "Where's Emma?" I asked. Linda waved toward the kitchen like she was pointing out a plant in the corner. She interfered, so we restrained her briefly. The sentence didn't land at first. Then I walked to the kitchen. A chair was overturned. Emma was on the floor, wrists red, where someone had held her phone smashed near the counter. She looked up at me like someone who'd been through an all-night storm. "They wouldn't leave," she whispered. "They said the HOA outranks police jurisdiction." That line, I don't know if it was fear or fatigue talking, but it cleaved through everything. Not anger, not shock, just this cold, bone-deep clarity. They had broken into my house, and their justification was a made-up hierarchy. I asked what they had opened. She pointed to the office, the big cabinet. I told them it was government property, she said. The patrol shrugged like disbelief was the default reaction. I nodded once and walked back into the living room. Linda still wore that smug little smile. "Now, about your vehicle violation and the unauthorized flag," she said. I cut in. "Did you stream this live?" Her smile got wider, proud, and bright. "Transparency builds community trust." One of the patrol guys snorted. "Neighborhood group loved it, over 200 viewers." I took my phone out and dialed a number. My voice was steady, controlled, not shouting. "This is Special Enforcement Officer Daniel Reyes. I need an immediate response at my residence, active scene compromise involving protected records." Silence on the line. Linda blinked. "Protected what?" she asked. I looked at her slow and flat. "You broke into secured federal evidence storage." The color drained from her face. No one spoke. I continued calmly. "You detained a federal employee's spouse, destroyed communications equipment, and broadcast all of it." The room tightened. A patrol guy muttered, "Linda, maybe we should—" At that moment, sirens started, first county police, then 2 unmarked SUVs, then a vehicle I recognized right away. Linda saw it too. Her confidence didn't crumble all at once. It cracked in stages, confusion, doubt, the slow realization that nobody was answering to her anymore. Officers walked in and went straight past her, straight to me. "Agent Reyes," one asked. I nodded, pointed at the office, evidence storage compromised. Multiple civilians accessed secured materials. Live stream broadcast. An officer began photographing everything. Another picked up the broken phone from the counter behind me. Linda laughed, nervous. "Okay, this is getting ridiculous. We're just the Homeowners Association. We have inspection authority." No one acknowledged her. No one. Then she did the worst thing possible. She pulled out her phone and started recording. "For legal protection," she said loudly. "These officers are harassing elected community leadership." The detective looked at her calm as a rock man put the phone down. "I have rights," she said. "You do?" he asked. She frowned. "What does that mean?" I answered. "It means your own live stream documented forced entry, unlawful detention, and evidence tampering. Someone from her volunteer patrol tried to slip toward the door. He didn't get 2 steps before a deputy stopped him. Nobody left. Nobody talked. Linda kept talking because she still thought this was about bylaws. You people don't understand our community standards legally override." The detective cut her off. "Ma'am, you raided a house over a pickup truck." The room fell hard silent. Then came the line that broke her. The detective said, "We're going to need the login to that neighborhood page." Her smile vanished. 2 days later, she sent an emergency HOA notice, mandatory community meeting, legal clarification regarding misinformation. She thought she could fix it publicly, control the narrative. That was exactly what we were waiting for. The clubhouse was packed mostly because folks had watched the raid live. People whispered when I walked in with Emma beside me. Linda stood at the front with a printed speech, looking tired but determined. "Neighbors' recent events have been exaggerated by an individual attempting to intimidate our association." The back door opened just a hair. Every head turned. 6 officers walked in, and behind them 2 federal investigators. Linda stopped mid-sentence. I didn't. I walked to the front. "Go ahead," I said, calm. "Finish your statement." She stared at me, stunned. "You're trying to scare people." "No," I said. "You already did that yourself online." An investigator hooked a laptop to the projector. Her live stream filled the big screen, her voice, her instructions, her laughter, as my office was pried open, her telling Emma that the HOA outranked police authority. Gasps rippled through the room. Someone in the back muttered, "You told us he abandoned the house." The investigator paused the video at the moment the cabinet was opened, then spoke to the crowd. "The documents shown here were part of an active protective case. Broadcasting them publicly triggered emergency relocation procedures." Whispering turned to outrage. People weren't whispering anymore. They were staring at Linda like someone had pulled a curtain back on the real person. She stepped back. "This is harassment," she said, voice quivering. "No, ma'am," the detective said. "This is evidence." An officer gently took her wrists. She didn't resist. She just looked confused, like the world had stopped obeying her rules. As she was escorted out, the room stayed quiet. No cheers, no applause, just the hush of consequence doing its work. A month later, the HOA was dissolved and restructured. The fake patrol unit vanished overnight. 3 civil lawsuits were filed by residents. Emma got a new phone. I put a stronger lock on my door. And the neighborhood got quieter, a different kind of quiet now. Sometimes power doesn't fold in a dramatic crash. Sometimes it fades when people finally see it for what it is. Linda wanted authority. She got accountability. If there's a lesson in this mine anyway, it's that power doesn't automatically make you right. And performative transparency can be the spark that burns everything down. Don't assume a badge of convenience gives you the right to override the law. And if you're watching this, you remember justice doesn't always come from a blockbuster takedown. Sometimes it arrives because of a phone, a video, and a community that finally refuses to look away. In the end, standing on my porch with the new lock tight, the street quiet, in that steady, relieved way, I felt something like satisfaction, not triumphant, but the slow, deep exhale after a long fight. So tell me, do you think karma shows up on time, or do we just get lucky sometimes? Have you ever seen someone use a little power to do something way too big? Share your story, or tell me, where do you draw the line between protecting the community and abusing authority?